Heavy rains in southern Brazil and the state of Santa Catarina have caused the closure of major roads, flooding in several cities, and landslides. The rainfall has exceeded 100 millimeters in a few hours in localities such as Florianópolis and Cabo and has had a significant impact on the region, affecting both residents and tourists. In Itabima, the entire neighborhoods were underwater, the prompting authorities to issue warnings to the population to take extreme precautions. The thousands of tourists on vacations in southern Brazil, mostly from Argentina, have been affected by the adverse weather conditions, with the rains complicating travel and access to the beaches, one of the region's main attractions. On a beach at La de Bourg near the Arachon in western France, almost 1,000 white Christmas trees have become windbreaks to keep the ocean at bay.
The idea is to make them aware of the impact of treading, so that they understand that because people haven't respected the paths and so on that are provided for people, and because they haven't been respected, this creates these openings in the dune. And these openings mean that with the action of the wind, we have issues that are covered by sand. And if they, through their actions, can contribute to repairing all that, and if they understand that it shouldn't be done, we've achieved our objective. The purpose of these fir trees is to trap sand. In fact, if you look at the profile of the beach here, you can see that it's very wide. And when the wind pushes this sand towards the dune, the idea is that it will be blocked by these fir trees. We really use them as windbreaks. We're going to try and cover them with sand to try and fill in the depression we can see behind us and prevent the sand from blowing back up and covering the road and the car park just behind.
We also looked into various foreign affairs matters during our talks. Positions of Russia's and Iran's are coinciding. In a lot of them, our countries firmly stand for the supremacy of international law, sovereignty of the states, non-interference in domestic affairs of sovereign states. We pursue an independent foreign policies, and we stand against any dictates or any interference from the outside or imposing legitimate sanctions. We coordinate our efforts on the key areas, on the key international tracks, including within the UN and the BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. When discussing the latest developments in Syria, we emphasize that Russia has always been committed to the complex settlement approach with the respect for its sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. And we are ready to continue to give every support to the Syrian people. This comprehensive treaty that we have signed today will open up new opportunities, will start a new chapter in our relations, especially it goes for the trade and economic relations between Russia and Iran. I'm sure that this document is based on the best interest of our countries. It was drafted based on the best interest of our countries, and it will help us to prepare the foundation for our further cooperation. Russia and Iran are willing to remove those tiny obstacles on the path of our trade and economic relations. As for the customs matters or banking and financial matters,
in Venezuela, the Special Commission for the Revision of the Electoral Laws and Regulations of the National Assembly and the National Electoral Council evaluate the proposals of the political parties and organizations for the electoral schedule 2025. The meetings evaluates the proposals to define the dates, processes, and scenarios for the elections to be held in 2025. According to the President of the National Assembly, Jorge Rodriguez, for this year, there will be around 10 joint elections, including mayors, governors, legislative and municipal councils, as well as parliamentary elections and the constitutional reform. He also points out that the electoral processes will be governed based on what the Venezuelan Constitution emanates, the National Electoral Council, and not what any other national or international entity might indicate.
Según esta Constitución, el único órgano que está en condiciones de organizar.
According to this Constitution, the only body that has the power to organize, summon, count the votes, proclaim elected candidates, and give them the credential as elected officials, is the electoral power, the National Electoral Council, its 5 principal members and 10 alternates, as well as its 3 subordinate bodies. There is no other national entity, much less an extraterritorial one, that has the power to make decisions in electoral matters. That is why we have come here with proposals from the political parties.
Likewise, the President of the National Assembly provided details on the electoral processes scheduled for the year 2025.
En el año 2025 deben realizarse al menos 9 elecciones.
At least 9 elections must be held in the year 2025, and we will probably have to hold 10 elections this year. The 6 consultations that in an exceptional way, as proposed by President Nicolas Maduro, allow the people from the communities, from the neighborhood, from their residents, from the small towns, from the villages, to choose which are the projects that correspond to the needs of their community in particular, or that have more importance for them. Therefore, 4 consultations will be held on these projects, and the consultation specifically addressed to the youth and the cultural sector, 6 consultations of similar characteristics to the elections of communal justices of the peace that took place last December 15, 2024.